Hi, welcome back to Cooking for Babies and Toddlers. Today we are going to give you another recipe to teach you how to cook easy,
Yes.
fast, for the whole family, right?
For
there?
the whole family, exactly. This is a very basic recipe for everyone, and you can use any time. So it's not just like a meal. We pretend to give you today how to make your home tomato sauce. I think
Homemade
the kids
tomato
really,
sauce. That
yeah.
has a lot of use. I put tomato sauce everywhere.
Yes, and the kids usually love to eat with tomato. Everything with tomato. I remember my oldest son is everything with tomato. So I think it's something, I don't know why the color or the flavor, the kids really feel attractive to the tomato sauce, but they really like it.
But remember, what they like is the ketchup, is the commercial tomato sauce, and it tastes very, very different from what we're going to prepare here today.
Yeah, they have a lot of conservatives and a lot of emulsions, ingredients, so there is not under control. And we are looking to educate the palate of our babies and our toddlers, so our idea really is to make everything at home.
So
it's worth it.
don't be surprised if your older child tries this and goes, this is not tomato sauce. I want my own tomato sauce. But if you start from the beginning teaching them to like the flavor of real tomatoes, they will get used to it and they will love it.
Yeah,
they
and
will
we
like
feel
it.
so proud to show you how to make it because it's not very complicated and it's very easy and it's worth it to have your own tomato sauce at home and you can keep freezer for 3 or 5 months and use it. So you have your bags with your tomato sauce and you can be very proud to the whole family like you are making your own products.
So if you can explain the ingredients,
yes, so
it's very,
we have
very
the
simple.
Tomato, the Roma tomatoes. I just make a cross and we are gonna dip in a boiling water for 20 seconds. Just try to remove the skin easily after boiling for 20 seconds and after that to put in ice cold water.
Okay. So you want to do that? I think the water is ready to go. So you put them in the hot water there. Be careful.
Yes, it's boiling.
It's very, very hot. And so, I have done this before where, me always cutting corners. I just cut them and just blend them. That's it. Put in the blender with skin and everything. Right?
That's true. You can do that if you want it. The only thing is probably there's some skin.
Yes, and you find it.
Yes, and we are thinking of the kids and the babies.
Exactly.
And probably they don't like to feel any lumping. There are kids like really like it, but there are other kids like I don't like this.
And certainly the skin of the tomato is one of the things that you find in the diaper later on. So don't be surprised. But it takes just a few seconds if we can manage to. Okay. I think that would be enough, right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
And this is for 20 seconds only. So let's see, it's not too much time. And the good of this recipe is a basic recipe. So our idea is to show you to have some things in your freezer that you can use anytime or at the day like you really feel you don't have time to cook anything. And this is like a good resource to have your own basic recipes in your freezer.
We are actually making another recipe later on, lentils and fish with potatoes. And when I prepare that, I put a couple of spoonfuls of tomato sauce just to give some color and so you can really add it to any dish that you are preparing, just for color.
Fish,
just
vegetables,
extra vitamins,
pizza, pasta, everything.
Yes.
So it's really fun.
Right. And then the other ingredients, can you explain what other ingredients we're going to add?
So we have onions. It's not mandatory to add onions in the sauce, so if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. But we just talk in another videos about the really good things of the onions for the digestion, for the babies. And the idea is give them different flavors and educate their palates. So we have onions, sweet onions, and garlic, really minced garlic, just to add for the sofrito. So the idea is when we have the tomatoes ready, we are gonna peel it, remove the skin, just put in a blender, mix for a few seconds, and start preparing the sofrito with the tomato and cook slowly to have a really good tomato sauce.
And look, they're already peeling. What happens is that the peel starts to come off.
Yes.
Do you want me to turn it off?
Yeah.
Here, I can move it for you. All right.
Careful, it's very hot. You can just.
All right.
And now we are going to start moving.
So let me get you some fork here. So you move them to the eyes. Ooh. So you can see how the skin is starting to retract, is starting to peel
Even you can
on its
ask
own.
your toddlers if they have 5, 4 years to help you to peeling the tomatoes.
After
And
they cool down
yes.
a little bit.
You see, no, it's so quickly. Look how easy the skin is removing.
And then that makes it easier also. It's kind of partially already cooked a little bit during those few seconds.
It's just
so
outside.
In the outside.
And we are
Yeah.
looking to make a really thick sauce. So we just have one here.
And then you blend them before you add all the other ingredients. First you put it
Yes.
in the blender.
Yes.
I see.
Probably if you don't like to peel it on that way, you can use a grater. So you can grater all the tomatoes and just keep the skin out. The only thing is, because the skin, usually the kids feel like there is lumping and they don't like it, especially if it is the first time. But as Dr. Katalenas said, if you are in a hurry, you don't want to do this step, you can skip this step and just use with the skin, and that's perfect too.
Just blend them.
Just blend it
Yeah.
and see how the kids like it or not. You see, it's so quickly.
So
and it's
this
not
really
taking-
adds a lot of nutrition to any dish you are preparing, because you are adding vitamins, minerals, the famous lycopene that everybody talks about in
Oh
tomatoes.
yeah, that's very interesting.
It prevents cardiovascular disease, cancer. I mean, it's really a healthy nutrient that we encounter in this vegetable that is not a vegetable, it's a fruit, but
It's a fruit.
it's a berry, but very nutritious.
And I think, Marta, this tomato sauce, one the kids just tried and help, and they like it, is much better than ketchup.
Well, of course.
I don't want to
But
criticize.
I don't think we're going to
but I
train
think,
anybody not to use ketchup. That's
Yeah, I know the flavor is everyone like it, but I think has a lot of sugar, especially for kids.
Yes.
No.
Oh, yes. But
Okay.
it will be a challenge.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll open
wash
it for
my
you.
hands.
And then we'll just put them there, right?
Yes, please, Marta.
That I can do. Wow, that's
Yeah.
a lot of tomato.
Yes. Because remember, we are planning to have enough tomato sauce
To
for the
freeze it
week
and
or
to- yes.
freezer, and that's all.
Okay, so now we have, you already, the blender is done, right?
Yes.
You have the
We
the
have
sauce there.
all the tomato, yes, totally ready to use.
Mhm.
But before we are gonna use the tomato puree, we are gonna use a little onion and also a little garlic. And I would like you, Marta, as a doctor, a pediatrician specialist, to talk about why, because we talk about the benefit of the onion, about the garlic, And we use a lot in Spain.
Oh, yes.
A lot. Every plate, I think, all the dishes we cook.
We don't know
has
how to
onion.
cook without
Yes.
onion.
And I think
garlic.
here the people really like it because
Yes,
all
the
the
flavor.
time I'm in a cooking classes, and I ask the people, so everyone like garlic? Oh, we love garlic. We love garlic. So I think it's very common that people like the flavor.
Yeah,
of
it's
the garlic.
never too early to start introducing it to kids, and it is safe. You can introduce it with no problem in your cooking.
We're gonna add a little
that's
garlic.
the garlic, right? This means
to our sofrito.
Garlic, yeah. And so garlic and onions, they both belong to the same family of type of bulbs, vegetables, and they really add to the nutrition, but also they stimulate the immune system. You know, when families come and they ask me, what can I do? My kid is always sick. What can I do to improve the immunity? I always tell them nutrition. It's all about what you
important.
eat.
Yeah.
So these two ingredients, onions and garlic, very important to stimulate your immune system. It has antibacterial properties. It helps, and this is scientifically proved, that it helps decrease heart disease, cardiovascular problems, high blood pressure. So all around a good ingredient to start introducing your children early.
That's perfect. So
and now you're gonna add the
yes, I'm gonna add the tomato juice, just the tomato puree.
Yeah.
So we remove from the heat. And this is a tip I would like to give you. All the time you have to remove the tomato sauce. Just remove from the heat. And
it's gonna turn off.
Yes, I know.
All right.
And now we just have to give some time to work slowly to cook.
How long?
And cover.
Cover. Okay.
So it's usually until the tomato is start making a little thick, and the color change.
The color
is the reference.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna add a little sugar and a little salt. So we have here
sugar and salt.
Sugar and salt.
Just to take away that tangy kind of. Ooh, there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, because we have 8 tomatoes, so we have to taste it. And a little salt.
There. Okay, so now you just allow it to cook. Well, let me tell you, one of the problems that people don't like garlic is, you know, because it gives you bad breath and then you smell like garlic.
Yes.
And
yes,
you know what happened to Victoria Beckham in Spain?
No. What happened? No.
Well, that was many years ago. You know, Victoria Beckham is the wife of David Beckham. He's
the
soccer player.
Football soccer. Yeah, the soccer player in the Real Madrid. And
yes, this was years ago, maybe 15. It was one of the Spice Girls.
Not
so spicy for what I see, but anyway, she lived in Spain many years, and when it was time to leave, they asked her how did she like being in Spain, and she said, "Oh, I love it. Yes, I like Spaniards. The only problem is that they smell like garlic."
Oh, really?
Yes. So the whole nation went up in arming. They did not like it. They criticized her. They named her persona non grata. I mean, it was just a big turmoil. But it's true. It is true. We smell like garlic because we eat so much garlic.
Yeah, we use
it goes through your skin. You know, you sweat it. The garlic, you sweat it.
Yeah,
so.
the people really like it. If you like to cook, it's something. But today there are a lot of products. You can use lemon to remove the garlic from your hands or your fingers when you are cooking, and it's perfect. It's not a problem. Even the special soap like this aluminum or methyl, like you can use when you wash your hands and remove the smell of the garlic totally.
You know Carlos Arguiñano that cooks.
Oh yeah, I met him and I cooked.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Well,
very nice
I saw him on TV saying that if you, after using garlic or onions, you hold your hands under the faucet, the water coming from up to down, so you just allow the water to fall over your hands, that alone removes the smell. And it's true, without soap or anything, but it has to go in that direction. You have to hold your hand under the faucet.
Oh, wow.
And that's it, to allow it to
That's interesting.
drop. Yes, that's Carlos Arguiñano.
Yeah, that's really nice. So remember, all the time now is boiling. before you are going to stir the tomato, it's so important, remove the heat, allow the tomato, stop boiling, and stir. If you don't want,
Why?
because you don't want to have all the splatter in your
Okay.
dessert or
Okay.
something.
I thought it was some
So,
kind of.
no,
Okay.
it's just the splatter because it's something happen with the tomato all the time. So it's just remove out of the heat and back to the heat.
And now I had to turn it on again.
Yes.
So you think like what, 30 minutes?
Usually depends of how much you are cooking. You can do on the slow cooker if you want. So it's easier to have on the slow cooker, or even cook overnight if you like a low temperature in the slow cooker,
Okay.
and you make like a lot
big
of
amount.
a big amount of tomato sauce. If you are cooking on the stove like we are doing today, it's usually 15-20 minutes.
I'm thinking that for those who like to cook Italian food, pasta, you can add anything there. You can put parsley.
Yes.
You can put herbs.
Herbs.
Any kind of.
I like to use herbs de Provence, or sometimes many people like to have gardening with some herbs, fresh herbs, thyme, rosemary, basil, all herbs you like it. But this is the herbs you have to add for the toddlers or the whole family.
Right.
For the babies for the first time, I think it's much better if we
just do
them
the basic.
the basic.
Yes. Okay, maybe already cooked. What do you think?
Yeah.
You want to try it? Or,
let's see. Let's
can
gonna
you
move
tell?
from the heat. I think it's almost ready. I would like our customers just see how the tomato sauce changed the color, and it smells really good, Marta.
Yes, the smell is good. So we can try. Let me
we
try.
can try, and we always can adjust the point of the salt or the point of the sugar. Remember, this is a tomato sauce for the whole family, for the toddlers. So I think it's allowed to put a little more salt if you like it, or a little more sugar. Not too much sugar. Depends on the tomato and the season of the tomatoes.
Right.
And the Roma tomatoes has a lot of acidity usually, and don't have a lot of water. So it's really good to make the tomato sauce. If you like to use another kind of tomatoes, be careful with the water, because your tomato sauce don't have to be a lot of thick or thicker than if you use tomato Roma.
And something that I want to mention before we stop is the idea that I have some of my families doing, some kids that don't like eggs, and you can just put an egg there, cook it until it's cooked with the sauce, just a few minutes, and it adds protein to it. You can really mix anything in there, any other vegetables that you want to mix. It will be blended with it. If you put in the blender together, they won't even know that they are there.
What age is good to introduce eggs to the babies, Marta?
Traditionally, we say at 1 year of age.
Okay.
But remember, things are changing now. We are learning that a lot of the food that we thought, oh, we have to wait until a year.
Yeah, I remember.
The
things changed from my first kid to my last kid.
Well, and lately I'm talking about the last few months.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, where we thought allergies were a big issue, where you have to wait until a year of age to introduce like peanuts or other food. And now the latest study showed that it's better to introduce it early. So with the egg protein, the same thing. If you have a family history of allergy to eggs, it would be probably better to introduce it like at 9 months than to wait until a year. And remember, the consistency is the key with the small ones. You really have to blend it well. If it's a baby, any lumpy thing, they may start throwing up. So as long as you blend it there very well, the tomato sauce is a great way too.
Yes, so now the tomato has a little lumpies of the onions, not the garlic, because I minced very well the garlic, but a little of the onion. If you think your baby or your toddler don't like with this little lump, you can pour again and place the tomato sauce in the blender again and make more smoothie and thinner than the tomato sauce looks now.
That's a good
idea. But if you want to use to cook an egg, and this is a great idea, Marta, I would like to use a very small saucepan just with a little on the bottom of the tomato sauce, put the egg and just cover with the tomato, like you are hiding the egg, and just wait for a couple minutes. The egg is almost done, or you can mix the egg with the tomato sauce and give to your toddler, and he will really love it.
Like a scrambled egg, but there with the tomato. They don't.
Yes, with the
you
tomato.
Don't even know it's there, but it really adds.
It's a good idea. We can do another recipe with eggs or some vegetables.
Yes, we can do more with eggs, definitely.
Meal for the whole family. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone who subscribed actually to our YouTube channel. We are so happy to have more than 20 people in our YouTube channel. We hope you can subscribe or give us your comments. Help us to improve our YouTube channel. We are here to help, to make your life easier and make your babies healthier.
Yes, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Next week. See you. Bye.